ActionSA has announced a list of 33 new members in KwaZulu-Natal who've joined from other political parties, mostly from the DA and the Abantu Batho Congress. For more on this, let's connect with our reporter Karinda Jagmohan, who's live in Durban. You've been at that briefing, Karinda. So who are some of the more significant new signings, if you will?
Indeed, well, you'll see many of the members taking a photo up behind me, and most of them actually coming from the DA and the ABC, the Abantu Batho Congress. Now remember, the new provincial chairperson for ActionSA is from the DA himself. So let's quickly grab ActionSA President, Mr. Herman Mashaba. So we're live on Newzroom Afrika. Just as I have you here, you're welcoming 33 members into your fold. What does this mean for the party in the upcoming national elections? Will you have a bigger base here?
Well, I think this is such a humbling experience. I'm really overwhelmed because, to be honest with you, I only got to know about this on Sunday night. We are in Newcastle with Zakele, and said to me, we've got a press conference on Tuesday. I said, press conference to do what? He says, no, we're welcoming people. So in any way, I was coming over this side. And I look at not just really this to be former members of other political parties, is the quality of people he's managed to put together in such a short space of time. It's really humbling, and I really hope that Action as our provincial chairs in other provinces can actually learn from this, because our success is dependent on us getting experienced ethical leaders to assist us to ensure that to 2024, in 18 months' time, we are ready, ActionSA, to emerge as the biggest or the second biggest political party. It's not going to happen when we don't have people with experience. So I'm really excited about this, really delighted. I've got such respect for Zakele. I knew him, known him over the years to be an ethical, hardworking person. We share the same values, but today has really taken me to another level.
So with these 33 members today, they came to the front and spoke about why they want to join you, but what standards, performance standards, are you going to hold your councillors to, especially because they come from other parties like the DA?
Well, luckily, we have our the governance unit led by Dr. Nasipi Moyo, who obviously her responsibility to a large extent is on governance in making sure that people obviously adhere to what we stand for. You will see actually in January we're going to be launching what we call our political school, where what we call the South African Dream. It's interesting about what we call this South African dream, which the provincial chair of Gauteng, Bongani, was going to lead this project, but he's got a huge responsibility. So we are going to launch the South African dream. And for you to really be a public rep for ActionSA, you must go through this project to really know what is it to really subscribe to a South African dream. You've got to be a patriot. You've got to be ethical leader. You have to really believe in free market economy. You've got to believe in God, because I think it's only through God that you can get the inspiration and the wisdom to really be able to do things that you are expected to do. That when you enter politics, don't enter politics for your own stomach. Enter politics because you want to serve society, because when you serve society, automatically society will look after you.
On that note, of course, and on a side note, the president is going to Concord. You spoke briefly about that. What are your opinions again?
Very, very unfortunate. It's really the ANC doesn't stop disappointing us as South Africans. I think President Cyril Ramaphosa, a lot of people were under impression he's a patriot. Unfortunately, Cyril Ramaphosa went into politics, went into government, becoming the president of the country, but it looks like it's not the job that he enjoys. It looks like he enjoys selling ancolas and buffaloes. So I think I would really advise him, President Cyril Ramaphosa, allow South Africa to really move forward. Go and do the job that you like. You like selling Angolas, you like to deal in US dollars. That's what you like most. Go and focus on that and allow South Africa to move forward so that we don't wait for 2024. But unfortunately, his whole organization is rallying behind him because obviously they are beneficiaries of the kind of work that he does.
There are reports of, loopholes in the panel report regarding Phala Phala. What's your opinion on this, sir?
There's just not a single loophole in that report. President Cyril Ramaphosa himself, as soon as Arthur Fraser exposed him, he admitted that there was a theft at his farm. No question about it. It is there. So I think no one must just then come out with excuses about the loophole in that report. That report is clear as daylight. President Cyril Ramaphosa is dealing in US dollars, in fraudulent money laundering. It's a fact. Cyril Ramaphosa never reported this matter to the police. Cyril Ramaphosa used mafia style to look for people who stole the money. Cyril Ramaphosa sought the assistance of the Namibian president to assist him in this matter. So what loopholes? So people must never take us to be fools to divert attention and tell us there are loopholes in it. It stands no chance in the Constitutional Court. They are just really wasting time. But at the end of the day, you know what? We are going to make sure and ensure that South Africans wake up to the reality that we've got a president who's got a lot to answer, and we're going to hold him accountable.
Sir, before I leave you, let's talk about the secret ballot in Parliament, that you have raised this concern there, but we haven't seen, of course, representation in Parliament by ActionSA. So tell me about the secret ballot and you raising it to the Speaker there. Yeah,
well, we're raising it because one thing that South Africans must understand, ActionSA is a new party. But we're not a small party. We are the sixth biggest political party in the country. As much as we're not yet represented in the province and national government, but we are going to be represented come 2024, and we are going to emerge as a serious player, either the biggest or the second biggest political party. So we have the responsibility as South Africans, as citizens of this country, to hold government and politicians accountable. We don't necessarily have to really be in Parliament to hold politicians accountable.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Mr. Herman Mashaba from ActionSA, the president there joining us. Of course, he's in Durban today as the party welcomes 33 new former councillors in their fold, most of them from the DA and ABC. Remember, of course, the party, ActionSA's new provincial chairperson is formerly from the DA, formerly DA chairperson Zwakile Mngqwango, as well as many members from the ABC, the party raising earlier that the ABC leader is the current eThekwini Deputy Mayor Philani Mavundla. The party's Zwakile Mngqwango was speaking about concerns in eThekwini, where Philani Mavundla, being the chairperson of infrastructure in eThekwini, not working alongside the Durban mayor, that's Molisi Kawunda. So that is why we're seeing some concerns. So these are the issues that surfaced here. And of course, Mr. Herman Mashaba saying that the new councillors they're welcoming into their fold will go through review. More members will be vetted to ensure that there is transparency in their party moving forward. And then, of course, comments about Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, who is heading to Concord.
Karinda, Jagmohan, thank you very much for that update from Durban.